in one of the Simliga championships. The CR1 championship, the Slick championship, this one is currently full. So they're not taking any more entrants for this one, but they do have a DTM championship that's just started, and they also have an open wheel championship that's starting either next week or the week after. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you can type !Simliga in the chat, and that'll give you a link to their Discord if you want to join one of their championships. I highly recommend you do. The races we've seen in this particular championship have been absolutely fantastic. So we have 9 people to set a lap time, as we're coming into the final 8 minutes of practice. So it's closer with the top 2. In P3 we have Victor Correa. He also drove in the DTM Championship yesterday. Very unfortunate for him. He had a fuel issue at the start, so he's a very fast driver though. So we'll see what he can do this race. Maybe he can challenge for the podium. Let's have another look at Soteres Talk then. Currently P5 in the standings. His best lap time a 1:38.1. So just over 4 seconds behind Gajewski. Well, this is another driver who we've really seen improve throughout the season. He's been slowly climbing his way up the leaderboard, or the championship table, should I say. And this is what league racing is all about. It's about getting stuck in, having some battles, especially when you're in the midfield. It really improves your racecraft. So Julio Rowe, he's just posted another lap time. He's just over 2/10 behind Cafe at the minute, so we might see those two drivers having a bit of a battle in the race. That'd be good. I think actually Julio Rowe were a previous race winner, or a let's see. I do have the historic season records here. I'm pretty sure Rowe and Cafe were right up there. Yeah, so Julio Rowe was a champion actually of the Open Wheel Championship. And it was Danny Caffey who finished that championship in P2. Oh, Jord. Ah, yeah. You can only hear me on the left side. Yeah, it does that sometimes. My bad. Just a second, let me fix that for you. Alright, that should be fixed now. My apologies, it does do that and I forget about it. Absolutely. Yeah. As long as it's working now. You thought your phone was broken. No, it's my bad. It's something I have to do when I start the stream. I have to reset my microphone to mono, and it's just something I forgot to do. My bad. Alright, let me just shut my Discord down now, just so saving my internet a little bit, cause there we go. Good luck, our mighty wonderful commentators. Thank you very much, Valentin, and good luck with the race, even though you are the fastest guy at the minute. As we come into the final 2.5 minutes of the practice session now. It looks like Dario Imola has got a lap time in. He's just under a second behind Gajewski. Yeah, let's see who else we have. Mission Spinau as well. Currently P6 in the championship. 3 points behind Maz Nera. So be interesting to see what sort of time Mission can do. And it's the usual suspects make the top three. Gajewski, Gra, Imola, we've seen that quite often this season. Then Victor Correa won just over a second and a half behind Gajewski, so is sitting comfortably in P4 for the time being. And then we've got Maz Nera in P5, 3.2 seconds behind the leader. Soteris Tok, 4 seconds behind. And then Chris Walker, 5.5 seconds behind, followed by Danny Caffey and Julio Rowe. And Robert Florian. Not Robert, Rules Florian, sorry, my apologies. So the final minute then. And it looks like Spinau is going to get a lap time in. So hopefully this will give us an idea of where Spinau's going to finish. Like I say, just 3 points between Spinau and Nera in the championship, so Spinau will be looking to get close to Nera's time. And I've done a purple sector 3 there, Mission Spinau. Get a lap in now. Like they've abandoned it. Because that's the end of the practice session. See who else we've got out on track. Dario Imola still in P3. As they'll be shifting to qualifying. Here we go. Alright, just before we get started, I'd very much like to thank everyone for joining us this evening for some Simliga CR1 Championship. This is round 4. We are at the Race Room Raceway. This is the Grand Prix layout, a very tight and twisty track with lots of elevation changes and some blind corners. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. The top 3 drivers in the championship separated by only 5 points as we come to the halfway point in this season. I'm your commentator, Jord Evans. I'll be talking you through the race and keeping you up to date with everything that happens. As qualifying begins, 15 minutes of qualifying. It's been upped slightly from the 10 minutes we had before, so it'll give drivers the chance to get another lap or 2 in. Now it looks like Imola's the first one out, so we'll stay with him. He comes across the second to last corner, this tight left-hand hairpin. Then this final corner, a long right-hander. And we'll stick with him as he goes on his flying lap then. So this is across the start-finish straight, goes downhill slightly to the right. You have this chicane, then you're looking to brake about where the red barrier is on the side. You've got to be very careful with the track limits on this circuit. Very, very strict track limits, but that's the first chicane. You come into this second chicane, a slightly faster one. As you go left, then right, and then over the crest, a blind right-hand corner. A very tricky corner, this one. And then a right-hander, again going uphill. The car can understeer on the entry and then oversteer on the exit as the rear of the car goes light, so you've got to be careful there too. There's a sweeping left-hander around the tunnel as you then come downhill to another right-hander. And then it goes again, slightly to the right, then to the left. As we now brake hard, turn left onto the Grand Prix section of the track. Another left right-hander as you come down this little straight. And there's a right-hander here that goes right over the crest. You can't see the exit of the corner until you're right over the corner, so a very tricky one. Then you have this right-hander too. Then the tight left-hander. And then the final long right-hander. So we'll see what sort of time Imola does. In practice, we were seeing 1 minute 34s. That seemed to be the pace. So we'll see what Imola does. It's going to be a 1:36. And I think Arthur Gras right behind him. No, it's actually Gajewski who's set the lap, so I wonder if the other two got track limits there. So Gajewski with the 1:35.2. Behind him we have Torque and El Naji in P3 so far. Gajewski with another purple sector. The start there. And qualifying were actually pretty intense last race. We saw Arthur Gras get pole position right at the end of qualifying. Valentin just getting quicker and quicker, but he might have some traffic if he goes too much quicker. Looks like Alessandro Ribec set a time as well. And it looks like the midfield's pretty tight. El Naji with 6 seconds off. Danny Caffey 6.7. Is Gajewski going to improve? He has. It's a 1:34.8. And Arthur Gras just 2 tenths behind him. Imola another 2 tenths behind Gras. So these guys are the pace setters so far in qualifying. Now qualifying's going to be quite important on this circuit because going into that first corner, you want as good a run as you can. It can get very congested in the first chicane of this track. It's like Gras just done a purple sector 2, so he's on the pace. Let's see what his sector 3 time's like. Comes into this tight left-hander, very tricky corner that one. Alright then, the final right-hander. And he'll be on the start-finish straight. And it looks like it's all within track limits, so... let's see what this is. Does he go purple? He does. No. He goes green sector 1, purple sector 2 and 3. He's less than a tenth behind Gajewski. 600ths of a second. Now Imola's 4/10 behind. Now Arthur Gras has just gone purple in sector 1. So all the time getting quicker. And that's a 10th off. Can he keep up the momentum in sector 2? As he goes into the tunnel now, sweeping to the left. And I'll want to try and get the car to the left-hand side as you brake down the hill for this right-hander. Use all the track on the exit, but not too much. Very easy to go outside the track limits there. Comes under the bridge now for this left-hander. 6/10 up in sector 2. Absolutely flying at the minute on this qualifying lap. Does look like he has a bit of traffic though. Hopefully they're going to get out the way for him. Oh, and they're just going to park it right on the apex. And that's going to mess his lap up. He's not going to be happy with that. That's not something that should happen in qualifying. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, it was Al Comey who's all over the track again. And that's very unfortunate. Grau with the purple first and second sector. That's very, very frustrating. Gajewski's just put in a new fastest lap though. He's in the 134s now, a 134.9. And he's done another purple sector 1, 3/10 up. So it's Gajewski now who's flying. Now Graz, he's just done a purple sector 1. So both these guys, P1 and 2 in the championship. Let's see what Gajewski's sector 2 time is then. He's going to go under the bridge and braking for the left-hander, so it's a purple sector 2 for Gajewski, a purple sector 2 for Gras. This is a close qualifying. Alright, as Gajewski comes round then, the second to last hairpin, this left-hander. And let's see what lap time he puts in. It's a purple sector 1 and 2 for both drivers here. And what's Gajewski going to do? So 134.4 and Gras 134.8, so only 4/10, less than 4/10 between them. And Imola needs to respond because he's 1.1 seconds behind them. So Imola needs to respond to them. And in P4 we've got Pascal Elspas. He had a retirement last race, which were unfortunate. You were in the battle for P3 as well. So that is a shame for sure. And then in P5 currently we have Soteris Talk up in P5, so he's doing really well, as he's just gone to the pit lane. Then after Soteris Talk, we've got Chris Walker, only a 10th behind him. These two separated by, I think, only 2 points. Were it 2 points? Oh, 1 point in the championship, so we'll be keeping an eye on them too. In P8 we have Saleh El Naji, who I really hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. P9 we have Alessandro Rebec. There's Mission Spinow's gone P7. So that puts El Naji to P8, followed by Rebec in P9. Danny Caffey in P10. Then we still have Alessandro Mallard, Giulio Rove, Victor Correa, Maz Nera, and Alcome. Nayadine Alcome, and also, who's this? And also Rulf Florian, who have yet to set a qualifying lap. But back to Gajewski, he's still your fastest man on track. And it looks like Imola has caught them up a bit. He's 3 tenths behind Gra, 6 tenths behind Gajewski. And Elspas not far behind him, only 3 tenths behind Imola. Then there's a bit of a gap to the rest of the grid, led by Soteris Talk, which is really good to see. Alessandro Mallard just puts in a time, so he goes P11, and Alessandro Rebec P10. So we'll see what happens coming into the final 2.5 minutes of the race, of qualifying now. And this is where things will start to get a bit spicy. Victor Correa, he's out. I think this is his out lap, so ideally he'll want a lap without traffic. We'll follow him round, because I know this guy can be pretty quick when he wants to be. He's left himself a lot of work to do though, with only 1 flying lap. That's all he's going to have time for. But he comes into T1 then. If he gets any track limits, that's going to be his time invalidated and he'll have to start from the back, so it's going to be a real tough job for him, as Imola's gone even quicker, still P3, but only 4/1000ths of a second behind Gra now. The Victor Correa comes round the right-hander over the crest, he'll go into the tunnel, it sweeps round to the left. He's currently P9 in the championship. He's knocking on the door of Talk and Walker. He has 19 points. Soteris Talk on 22, Walker on 23, so he's fighting for that P7 spot in the championship. But it looks like a clean lap so far, as he's in Sector 3 now. He charges down to the right-hander that goes over the crest, the blind right-hander. This is where it's easy to go out track limits, but he keeps it nice and tidy. Third to last corner now, another right-hander. Looking good. To the tight left-hander. Onto the run into the final corner now. And let's see where he fits in with all this. The final 30 seconds of qualifying. And there you go. So, Gajewski P1, Gra P2, Dario Imola P3, Pascal Elspas P4, Victor Correa P5, and then there's a little bit of a gap into the rest of the grid, with Soteris Talk in P6, leading the midfield. That's a good qualifying for him. Followed by Walker, then we have Spinow, and El Naji, then Giulio Rowe, Alessandro Rebec, Alessandro Mallard, and Danny Caffey P13. It looks like we have a couple of non-qualifiers. Which is a shame. Yeah, it looks like Maz Nera didn't qualify. But here we are then, on to the race. Let me make sure I've got everything up. Standings, session information, driver info, everything's up. As the cars line up on the grid then. And we get ready for round 4 of the Simliga CR1 Championship, the Slick Championship. And I wonder what's going to happen this week. Last week the drivers gave me a sore throat with all the action that were going on. And as much as it was quite painful, I am hoping for the same this week. Alright then, they're under starters orders. 30 minutes to go. The lights are red. And off we go then, and it looks like someone's got a drive-through penalty already, as Gajewski leads the field. It looks like Imola's got a decent start, he's into P2 then. Arthur Gra's in P3. And yeah, Gajewski leads then. Now Arthur Gra right at the back of, he lost out on a position. That's not going to be too good for him. Then Correa leads the rest of them, followed by El Naji, followed by Elspas. Let's go over the crest then. Let's see what's happening a bit further down. Soteris Talk, there's a lot of traffic. Ooh, and it looks like there was a bit of contact there, but this is Mission Spin Out. He passes Talk. And the Walker's passed Talk as well, so that's not going to look good for Talk in the championship. Let's see what's happening at the front then. Imola defends from Gra, who's trying to look for the long way around. And it looks like the top 3 not separated by much. Fantastic start, and it looks like there's been a move here. Elspas side by side with Correa, and he goes through as El Naji gets a penalty for track limits abuse, but he's just going to nudge Correa out, but Correa comes back. So Correa in P5 then. And it looks like Alcome's still got that penalty to serve for the track limits abuse, and Mars Nera's got a slow down penalty as well. It is very... Oh, and there's been contact! Correa is round! Oh, and it's a big one! It's a big one at the back here. Cars flying all over the place. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but that was a massive incident. And that's going to be unfortunate for all these drivers towards the back of the grid.
eBay Motors has parts for new cars.
But Danny Caffey's going to capitalise on it as he comes
new
back.
parts for cars about as old as I am.
And it looks like Rebec's not come out of that too good. Neither has Florian. As Alcome comes through now. But yeah, that was a big incident. Let's see what's happening at the front then. Arthur Gra's getting the penalty for the track limits too. Again, very easily done here. There's Gra right on the tail of Imola. He's going to be chasing him probably for the entire race. If he's going to be looking for that move. Just behind them then is Elspas. He's in a bit of a race of his own at the minute, as is El Naji. And Talk gets a penalty for track limits. It looks like we have Spinow and Walker. They're having a bit of a ding-dong at the minute. But I think Spinow is managing to just pull away a little bit. They'll be looking to go chase after El Naji. Further down the grid then, we have Julio Rowe. He's in P8. Followed by Nera, and there's still a car out on track there. That could be quite a danger. And then we have Alessandro Mallard and Victor Correa. It looks like he's making his way back through the pack. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there, but it's nothing too bad. It's very unfortunate for Correa getting held up in that incident. He's making his way back through the field. Then we have Alessandro Mallard. He's defending from Danny Caffey. As they go over the crest then. And through the tunnel. Alright, let's have a look what's happening with us leaders then. Dario Imola still P2 in the slipstream of Gajewski. And of course, closely followed by Arthur Grant, Giulio Rowe, Maz Neira, both getting slowdown penalties for track limits, very easily done. As they come in then, T1. It's still Imola in P2. There's Giulio Rowe in P8 and Maz Neira not far behind him in P9. Alcome gets a penalty for the track limits. Go back to the front of the grid then. Imola still defending from Grat. There's not much at all between these two. Grat's trying to take that wider line to get the better exit. See if he can set himself up for a good run down the straight. Looks like he's going for the later apex, but ooh, he just goes off a little bit wide there. We'll see what happens as they come into T1 then, the leading cars. And there's no change there just yet. And 8 seconds behind we have Elspas, still just having a pretty quiet race. P5 we have El Naji, and he's been chased down by Mission Spinout. Alcome gets another penalty for track limits there. Now let's see, can Mission Spinout close this gap? Currently P6 in the championship, Spinout. 3 points behind Neira, so he'll be quite happy with how things are going so far. Maz Neira's down in P9. It looks like we have a battle here forming between Caffey and Soteris Talk, and Soteris Talk just nips up the inside and goes through. Behind him we've got Alessandro Rebec. He's going to be licking his lips at this. Pascal Elspas gets a slowdown penalty for track limits. But it looks like Soteris Talk has got the move to stick on Caffey. Behind him, Rebec's having a look. Rebec goes for the move up the inside and there's a bit of contact. Rebec goes off wide. And Danny Caffey gets the cutback. So good racing there by Caffey to get the switch back. It looks like Rebec just went a bit too deep into the corner. Now it looks like we've got a battle for P5 as well. And this is between El Naji and Spinout. As the side-by-side through the start-finish straight now. Now it is El Naji who's just got his nose in front as they come into T1. Through the left-right chicane. And oh, El Naji just closes the door a little bit. But Spinout's still on the back of him. As they come then through the tunnel section, as Imola gets a slowdown penalty there. And El Naji defending well. Spinell tries up the inside but just can't get anything done. Meanwhile, this is the battle for P1. I'm not sure what happened to Gajewski, but he's dropped down to P3. So that's Imola currently P1 and Gra currently P2. So my apologies for missing that, but this has been a big development in the race. I'm not sure what happened there. So they are coming up to a little bit of traffic now. This could make things interesting, no? Looks like the cars just got straight out of the way, so... that's good for the car under the blue flags. So Dario Imola currently leads the race. He hasn't won a race yet in this championship. So could this be the day? But we'll keep an eye on this for sure. Meanwhile, the battle for P6 still rages on. Or the battle for P5, sorry, still rages on. As El Naji just gets the wider line. And Spinell cannot find a way past. As they come over the crest now, into the tunnel section. It looks like El Naji just keeps his nose ahead just for now. Oh, and he's gone into the wall. That's going to slow him down. They go side by side. And it looks like Spinell's got the move done on El Naji. So Spinell now up to P5. And that's going to give him the points over Masnera in this championship. It looks like we've got a battle for P9 as well. This is Giulio Rowe defending from Victor Correa. Battles up and down the field here. And Victor Correa looks to the inside, but can't quite do anything there. As they come into the final corner now, Giulio Rowe, the Simliga open wheel champion, remember? As the black car finally moves out the way. That's Rule Florian, he's 6 laps down, so I'm not sure what happened to him. And I have a sneaking suspicion Correa's got a damaged car. Something certainly doesn't look right with that car. But he's going to try the move anyway. Ooh. Just couldn't quite get it to work. Valentin Gajewski getting a telling off for the track limits. As is Alessandro Rebec. Correa still with a damaged car all over the back of Giulio Rowe. And can he do anything as he goes left, goes right? He might have the run down the straight. Another side by side now. He's going to have a look up the inside. But he just doesn't get the drive out the corner. I think that the damaged car's really not helping Correa out here. It's very unfortunate for him, but he's still all over the back of Giulio Rowe. Does he have a run down the straight here? It doesn't look like it. Oh, is he just... might have just nudged the wall a bit there. It looks like Giulio Rowe is pulling away slightly. Correa just can't find a way past. Have another look at the leaders, see what's happening here. It's still tight at the top. Imola still leads from Gra, who leads Gajewski. Now remember, there is the 2 times fuel use as well in this race, so there could be a pit stop. Some people have gone long before. We'll just have to see what happens there. There's the battle for P9 still going on. This is Julio Rowan. Correa's just got his nose in front. Is he going to be able to make the move stick through the right-hander? Looks like he is. And it looks like Victor Correa has finally got past Julio Rowe, so he's going to be looking to pull away now. Now there is a few seconds between him and Nera, the next car. So we'll see what happens there. As Imola gets a slowdown penalty. But it hasn't cost him any positions just yet. And it looks like El Naji's re-overtaken Spinell. Battles happening all over the track here. And it looks like he is pulling away ever so slightly there. Meanwhile, we've got Maz Nera. He's closing in on Chris Walker, just a couple of seconds between them. Let's go back to the front runners then. Still Imola, who leads Gra. Leads Gajewski. Now Gajewski has made a move on Gra, and he's just managed to make it stick. He just dived up the inside at T1. And he was the fastest man on track in qualifying and practice, so is he going to be able to catch up to Imola? That's the question. Now, Imola's fastest lap in the race is 0.2 quicker than Gajewski's, but Arthur Grave currently has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:34.9. He's the only driver to have got into the 1:34 so far. So we'll see what happens here. But the more these two fight, the further in front Imola's going to get. We'll just have to keep his eye on and see what happens there. Meanwhile, we still have El Naji and Spinell. They're still battling. I think Pascal Elspas has gone into the pits now. He's doing his pit stop. As we are in the second half of the race now. Looks like El Naji still manages to lead. But this is still good news for Spinell, as he is ahead of Maz Nera, who is still slowly but surely catching Chris Walker. We'll keep his eye on that as Spinell, he just slides it up the inside. Can he keep it ahead for the next corner for the tight left-hander? It goes round the outside, there's a little bit of contact. Nothing catastrophic though. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. And actually El Naji is going to go into the pits, which is going to give Spinell the clean air. Now Spinell's fastest lap is a 1:37.3. So that could be interesting. We'll see where he comes out when El Naji comes out of the pits and when Spinell's done his pit stop. And it looks like Nera has overtaken Chris Walker, as I assume he's gone in for his pit stop. So a lot of pit stops happening at the minute. As Nera forgets to brake for the corner there. Right, so let's see what's happening at the front. And it looks like Gajewski has caught up with Imola. And now he's going to start hassling Imola. He's going to try and retake that race lead. And of course, while this is happening, Gra's just going to sit behind and watch it. And he's going to be hoping to try and follow Gajewski through if he can. But Imola still leads the race. Now Gajewski, is he looking up the inside? No, he's going to tuck in just behind. And look how close these two are racing. This is fantastic stuff. Alright, this is Masnera. He's got Victor Correa right behind him. I think Correa's still got the damaged car, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch up or not. For Victor Correa, his fastest lap of 137.7, Masnera 139.1. So it could very much be that even with the damage, Correa still has pace. He is a quick driver. And it looks like he's going to get the run on the start-finish straight here. Now is Masnera going to go defensive? Looks like he is. But Correa's just ahead. What's going to happen as they come into the braking zone? Correa, oh, he's ahead. He's made the move stick. So Correa goes ahead of Masnera. Fantastic stuff. He's going to try and get the position back. But it looks like Correa's just got the pace. Alright, let's see what's happening with the front runners. Gajewski still all over the back of Imola. Again, they go close, and looks like Gajewski went a bit deep into that corner, so that's going to back him up into Gra. Now, is Gra looking for the move on Gajewski to retake P2? He's going to look round the outside, and Gra retakes P2. He gets it done on Gajewski, but Gajewski's got the inside. He's going to go for the old switcheroo. And Gajewski manages just to defend his position. But Arthur Gra's looking round the outside now. They're going to have a little bit of traffic. Oh, a little bit of... a bit of contact with the wall there as Gra tries to avoid the back marker. Well, that were a fantastic little ding-dong battle there between these two drivers, who are both first and second in the championship. Third in the championship is Imola, this man, who's only 5 points behind. So if he can bring home the win, it'll be interesting to see where he comes out of all of this. Such a close championship, this. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And it looks like Gajewski and Gra are still going at it. Right on the back of each other. But it looks like Gajewski's just got his nose in front. Now they are dropping back to Imola. He's pulling out about a 1.5 second gap to them. This is a fantastic race. Now there's only 7 minutes or so of the race left. So I wonder if these guys are just going to do the full race distance without a pit stop. It would certainly seem that way so far. As Mission Spinow gets a slowdown penalty for track limits. I don't know if he's actually hit or not yet. Not sure about that. Gajewski still leads Gra. As Alcome gets a drive-through penalty. And Gra still all over the back of Gajewski. So we're just coming into the final 6 minutes of the race now. And Arthur Gra, ooh, he's got a slowdown penalty for track limits. He looks round the outside, but Gajewski's just gonna make that not an option for Grat. And they have closed up to Imola a little bit. They're within a second of him now. So these two pushing each other to go even quicker have re-caught Imola. Now the gap's about a second, so look at how close these two are racing. Awesome stuff. These guys are just in a league of their own. There's over a 50-second gap to the rest of the field, so we're in the final 5 minutes now. I'm guessing these guys are doing the whole race with no stop. It looks like they're just going to race the entire way. Let's see if there's any action further down the grid. There's Soteris Talk. I think he's trying to catch up to Chris Walker. Only a couple of points, only 1 point between those two, remember. Just behind them actually is Victor Correa. He's in P5 at the minute. So I'm wondering if he's done a pit stop. I don't think he has. I think he's still carrying a bit of damage in that car. But he's going to bring it home for P5. That would be a fantastic result for him. We go back to the leader then. It's Dario Imola. The gap now down to half a second. So even though Gajewski and Gra are racing each other, they're still finding the way onto the back of Imola again. So Gajewski dives into the pits. Now I'm wondering, has Gajewski got to stop for fuel? Has he run out of fuel? He's leading the championship. And if he's not going to make it to the end of the race, Imola's going to be P1 and Arthur Gra's going to be P2. And I'm wondering, with the gap, is Gajewski going to drop any positions? And that's really unfortunate for Gajewski. He's just going to have a quick splash and dash. So the gap between Imola and Gra is about 0.3 of a second for the lead of the race and potentially the lead of the championship. This has definitely spiced things up a bit. We're in the last 2 minutes of the race now. They go side by side. Oh, no, nearly a bit of contact there, but Arthur Gra gets a bit of a telling off for the track limits again. There's Arthur, he's gone well off track there. I'm not sure what happened there. The final minute and a half then. This could potentially be the last lap. Now a bit further down the grid, looks like El Naji, Pascal Elspas is catching up to him. This is Imola, so what's happened to Gra? Gra's had to do a splash and dash. So Gra's had to come into the pits, he must be out of fuel. So I'm wondering if Imola can make it to the end. He's got to, otherwise he could concede the entire race. A very risky strategy, but if he can make it pay off. But remember, with the other two pitting, He's not gonna have to worry about fighting. He can just rest his car and lift and coast and try and get it back to the end. So who's gonna come out on top for P2? Gra comes out just in front of Gajewski. Oh, excuse me. So Gra comes just out in front of Gajewski. In the final few seconds of the race, he's going to hold on to P2. This is really going to spice things up in the championship. And can Gajewski get away past Gra in the closing lap? They both had to take the splash and dash. This was such a close race at the end, with both of them struggling with the fuel. As Gra defends, it goes left, and then they go right. And the gap to Imola is just going down and down and down, so... we have a bit of a lag there for a second. But it looks like Arthur Gra's just going to hold on as they come round the last corner. And I don't think Gajewski's got enough. As that's the race. Oh, and has Imola run out of fuel on the line? Has he run out of fuel on the line? Has Gra just won this race? We'll have to wait for the official results, but it looks like Imola ran out of fuel on the line and Gra and Gajewski just overtook him. That is unbelievable if that's just happened. No, it looks like Imola's gone last. Is there another lap to go? This is crazy, crazy stuff. And I think this is actually the last lap, so I think Imola run out of fuel. Yeah, the checkered flag. So these two going for the splash and dash, playing it safe. Absolutely unbelievable scenes. Now, I think it is actually the end of the race because they're not fighting each other. Unbelievable stuff. Alright, so yeah, there's your final results. Imola did run out of fuel at the end and got a DNF, as did Victor Correa and Mars Nera. That's very unfortunate for them. But Arthur Gra, the race winner and the fastest lap, with Gajewski in P2, that could put Gra as the leader of the championship. Then P3, a podium for Mission Spinout. And that's going to put Spinout ahead of Mars Nera in the championship. And then we have Julia Rowe, P4, the open wheel champion. Then Ilnaji P5, Pascal Elspas P6. Chris Walker just manages to beat Satiris Talk, so he's going to stay ahead of him. And yeah, I'll have to have another look at those race results. But Dario Imola running out of fuel right at the line. How unfortunate! Unbelievable race yet again. Crazy race. The Simliga CR1 Championship never fails to disappoint as far as spectators go. Alright, we've got a couple of messages in chat. What a shit show of a race. There was a bit of contact at near the start there. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but I'm sure we'll be having a look at that after the race. There'll be a nice little job for us stewards after that. Better to be safe than sorry. Well, yeah, it would seem that would be the case. But Arthur Grau winning, and Imola getting, after leading the entire race, getting a DNF for the fuel. That's so unfortunate. Drove a damaged car. Yeah, I think there were a few people on the field who were struggling there with damage. This was the Hungary GP of Simliga. You fixed damage, then got damage again. You were doing P10. What was this race? It was certainly an interesting one. I have a sore throat again, which means it must have been a good one. Wow, that was an absolutely fantastic race, guys. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. If you type !Simliga in the chat, they have a couple of upcoming events, upcoming championships that you can join. I'm racing in one of them myself in the DTM series, so it'd be cool to see you on track. But what a race that was. Absolutely unbelievable. Yet again. I'm going to have a tough job with the highlights, but that's how I like it. But yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining me for this race. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know which buttons to click. If you could hit that follow button, that'd be very much appreciated if you haven't already. But that's everything from me. Just have a quick message. Sotos boys, hey Jord, hello. You caught me just as I'm about to end the stream. The race ended. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And I'll see you all in next week, when we have round 5 of the Simliga Championship, which I believe is at Brands Hatch Indy. That will be a very, very interesting one. My race was like FML. Yeah, a lot of people had a bad race, it would seem. There were a big crash at the beginning, and I think a lot of people got caught up in it. So I'm not quite sure what happened with that one. But I'm sure the stewards will be looking into it. But yeah, I am going to go now, because I have a sore throat. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all